Good morning, my dear friends. It's great to be with you. Another edition of Friedman Adventures this morning to get you ready for all the very, very latest. We've got a lot to cover for you. Fishing's rebounding. The weather has come down. We'll still have some breezy conditions, but things are looking so much better. So here we go. Let me first of all take you up to Big Bear Lake, where my friend Andrew Deal has his two kids, Dennis and Isabel, up there having a wonderful outdoor experience, and the trout are biting, as you can see here from Andrew's TikTok. Really decent fishing up there. I think they had half a dozen trout, had a great fish fry last night, and of course got to enjoy the great outdoors with his kids. Dennis and Isabel are super fortunate to have a dad like that, and Andrew is super fortunate to have two kids like, of course, Dennis and Isabel. So fun times up there in that neck of the woods. All right, let me bring you back down into the saltwater scene and talk about Ensenada. Right there off Ensenada is where we are indeed seeing some really excellent bluefin tuna signal again. Now, the bite is starting off slowly, as we surmised it would. We had that big blow, water temperatures dropped. It takes a while for things to get back, but it's already starting to click again, and hopefully it's just going to keep trucking on. Looks like we could get some breezy conditions on Easter Sunday. We'll watch that for you very closely. A lot of that bluefin tuna down there, 25 to 40 pounds, but you have fish up over 100 pounds. The fish bite really well in the dark, more fish being taken in daylight hours also. Knife jigs and flat falls really getting the job done. So really good signal down there. You know, it should come as no surprise that this April is another windy month, because that's when we get our winds here in SoCal. And sometimes that will extend into the first couple of weeks of May. Sometimes it ends right at the end of April. Sometimes you have a windy summer. You can never tell. So things are definitely on the improve. We still have some breezier conditions. It's not flat calm by any stretch of the imagination, but the fish have already clicked better here so far today than they did the previous day. So that is all really good news. Coronado Islands, again, that's going to take a little time to rebound, but it's already showing signs. There's yellows breezing all around the islands. You can always catch whitefish, sheep's head, and fill the sacks that way. But most people who go to the islands are trying to focus on yellowtail, some of that run and gun type of fishing, which is really fun. I mean, you see a bird school off in the distance, the captain eyes it with the binocs and then kicks the engines up in that sense of anticipation when you're running toward that school of fish, and then he shuts down and you throw an iron or a bait and you get bit. How can it get any better than that? Let me just run you up the coast now until we get up to the LA Orange County area and tell you that it's mostly rockfish, few bass, few barracuda, which is a good signal. Once again, water temperatures took a pretty significant drop during that last blow, but that's starting to rebound already, and the local areas really are going to have less wind than offshore. So hopefully we'll get back to some normal fishing, normal springtime fishing. Remember, we've seen more anchovies. It appears that we're in a La Nina, which is a cooler water year. Kelp grows better. There's more anchovies than sardines normally in a La Nina. And, fingers crossed, maybe some migratory sand bass and maybe barracuda that will hang out for a little bit longer than a week or two. You know, a sustained bite where you go out just about every single day and get a good pop on the barracuda. That would really be great for local fishing this year. I'm all for that. Out at Catalina Island, our friends on board the Pursuit out of 22nd Street Landing had a nice show on the yellows over there yesterday. Got some fish, got some barracuda, a few calico bass. Really excellent rebound after all that wind. And that just tells me that cat is going to bite this year. It should be a great year for the Pursuit and other boats that are fishing over there at Catalina Island. It looks very good. We also think that we have a possibility of a white sea bass bite going on there, because biomass of squid moved from Monterey to the Channel Islands, and some of it was also out there at Catalina Island. That is all good stuff. That is the magnet, the bait that sucks those predators in. So we could see white sea bass, we could see halibut, we could see yellowtail, we could see just any number of different species being drawn in by that squid. And again, fingers crossed that that good signal the Pursuit had yesterday will continue. It looks pretty doggone good to me. The surf bite, That's improving now. Also, water temps once again dipped. There was a few more barred perch, it seems like, caught. A few yellowfin croaker. There's been a better signal on Corbina this year than we've had last year and maybe the year before that. So the Corbina bite is looking really good. And remember, Corbina are right there, sometimes in 2 feet of water. They are so much fun. There are bonefish. They fight hard. They're discriminating feeders. You've got to drop the mono down to catch them. And it is so much fun. So if you walk and really observe, you'll see those things right there. And you'll see the direction they're swimming in. What you want to do is sprint up ahead, or in my case, jog gently up ahead, maybe 10, 12 feet, and then present your bait so they swim right into your bait. And that's such a great way to get the job done. If your trout gear is getting a little bit dusty, you haven't used it for a while, it's perfect for catching Corbina. It's really, really a lot of fun. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Halibut fishing is a good time for that. Also, we have a grunion run kicking into gear tomorrow. That is, it's similar to what the squid does to the sea bass and everything else. It's a biomass of fish, of bait fish. It comes up on the beach. Predators follow it. So halibut fishing should be good. And of course, you want to match the hatch. So a lure like a Lucky Craft will work very well for you. Chrome little small jigs work very, very well also. And of course, you want a bait fish. That's also a good alternative, using some frozen grunion. And I say frozen because it's observation only now. You're not allowed to take any grunion on this next run. So remember that, and hopefully that surf bite is going to continue to improve. The fact that the winds are down really is making a difference for everybody, no question about that. Also, we'll have our albacore forecast for you, I think the beginning of next week. I said this week, but I'm waiting for a little bit more information before I go out on a limb and make a fool of myself again this year. So just make sure I can get all my ducks in line so I am completely wrong again this year about albacore. I am telling you, it's looking really good to me. I dropped by a great place yesterday and had a lot of fun with my friend Jason Lawler. There you can see it right there. The photo's up there. And on May the 15th, remember, we're doing our jig fishing workshop. So we expect you to come down and have a really great time with us. That is going to be an absolute ball. We'll have a lot of fun. And then immediately after, we're going to go over to Jason's place and have a Dodger dog or watch a game or just chat about fishing. Jason is an avid fisherman, and you are going to enjoy hanging out with him over there at his place in Long Beach, California. Schwab, I think you pronounce it. It's right there, so you can see it one more time again. Did I screw that up, Jason? If I did, I apologize. I had some seared albacore there yesterday that was to die for, so I've already caught my first albacore of 2022. I might be ahead of you on that one. All right, taking a look at this weekend. Of course, it's Easter. On Easter Sunday at 12 noon, Elizabeth Gutierrez Johnson. She's the lovely young lady that works at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, but she has another side. She preaches Christianity. She tries to live that, and I thought it was a perfect message to get to know that other side of the young lady that you normally go in to pick up your surf fishing gear from or your bait. See the other side of her. So 12 noon on Easter Sunday, we'll have a special presentation with Elizabeth. She focuses a lot on grieving people. So if you've lost a loved one, if someone dear to you has recently passed away, or it's just you're having trouble getting over the pain, you can't see past the pain, this might be a good one for you to tune into. And at 12 noon, Elizabeth will be there, and you can shoot her a text and ask her for some help or try to meet up with her later, and she'll be happy to talk to you. So don't miss that. And again, our albacore forecast is coming up here very, very soon. So things are looking much better. The weather has calmed down quite a bit, and that is all good. From Big Bear Lake, where Andrew had all those trout, to along the beaches, we're starting to see more surf fish, to off Ensenada, where that bluefin tuna is starting to kick into gear, and then up there in the Channel Islands also. Ventura Sport Fishing's had boats out. The local boats have been doing very, very well. It looks like that is going to continue up there in that neck of the woods. And don't forget, we've had a really good signal up there on white sea bass and big halibut. The wind shut that down, but that is where all that squid is. It's still there. You can make bait on most nights, pick up your live squid, and man, it's going to be game on when that weather really settles down. We'll see when the Endeavor out of Ventura Sport Fishing gets out there. Again, Ventura has really been doing a great job. You should go join them. Island Spirits, their 3/4 day boat. Cody Rogers, their captain, doing a great job up there. And Steve Virtue, he's up there also on board the California, which is their extended half-day trip. Great trips with Steve. He's a capable fisherman, super nice guy. And they do that extended half-day trip on what was the old Matt Walsh. Now it is called the California there out of Ventura Sport Fishing. All right, we've got that gentleman making that 10,000-mile journey in an inflatable set to arrive at 22nd Street Landing later this month. I'll have details on that for you. And once again, Eddie Moreno, he is going to be home in September. For all of you who took the time to write a letter, we deeply appreciate that. And so does Eddie's family and his children. Eddie's going to come back and be twice the man he was. And that's saying a lot because he's a really great, decent human being. All right, folks, please subscribe to Friedman Adventures. We really appreciate all of you subscribing. We're starting to head toward 3,000 subscribers here in just a little bit over a year, so I'm happy to see that. Moving up on also over 1 million listens now when you combine our YouTube views and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, all of that together, well over 1 million. So I can't thank you enough for that. Coming back from China and starting this podcast, you've made it all happen. Leaving comments on YouTube really helps us a lot. 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast, really, really big. And also, of course, subscribing. So I wish you a wonderful day today. I hope you have a great Easter this Sunday. And of course, I'll be back with lots more breaking news or anything else that happens. Things headed in the right direction, but we're still in April, a breezy month. And by the way, please check your weather before you go grunion hunting. That's something you do with the kids. I realize that. It's special memory. I still remember my dad taking me down near the Redondo Pier and seeing grunion for the first time. Oh, how special that was. That was probably nearly 60 years ago. And that is a memory that stays with me. My dad, just a super great guy. And that is one of those things that really stays with me. So my point is, watch the weather, okay? If it's too windy or rough, plan it for another time. There's plenty of days in the future. All right, take care, everybody. It's always good to be with you. Friedman Adventures on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I'll see you back here with more. Have a wonderful Easter Sunday. Daryl, what a pleasure to see you here at Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. My friend, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Oh, well, I heard you talking, and I had to grab you because I heard you were on the Endeavor, and they had a go-around with the halibut and the white sea bass. You got the only sea bass, or?
I got only one of 7.
That's pretty darn good. Tell us about that, Dan. Tell us how you like the Endeavor.
A great boat. I always love fishing with Tucker and the whole crew. It's a dynamic crew.
Yeah.
They take care of you from beginning to end. So went out, we boarded Friday night, we fished Saturday, we went over to San Miguel, and Tucker found the squid. Once we had the squid, he put us on the fish. And of course, we had a great time. Sea bass, halibut, and the reds, phenomenal.
Really?
Big reds.
Oh my God, how can you beat that? I mean, you went home with a lot of fish, didn't you?
Believe me, the hardest part was loading my ice chest into my truck, because even before I put ice on it, very heavy.
That is amazing. So people are listening, they want to go up there on the Endeavor. What's the hot tip in terms of tackle? Were you fishing a dropper loop, or what were you doing?
Yeah, I was using a dropper loop primarily. I did also have a sliding sinker set up. So I took 6 rods and I had 6 different setups, according also using the fluorocarbon when we were in the shallows.
Oh, okay, that's important. And did you catch those fish in the shallows or in the deep water?
Well,
or
the
both?
sea bass was pretty much in the shallows.
Yeah. All right, cool. And the greater fish, how big were they?
I'd say my fish was about 30 pounds.
That's awesome. You must have felt very fortunate.
Oh, very fortunate.
And the halibut, how about that? What size were those?
I'd say the biggest halibut may have been about 40 pounds.
Oh my God, I saw the photos. They looked that big, man. You guys must have been so stoked, but at the same time, not really surprised because Tucker seems to do this over and over and over again.
Every time I've been on the boat with Tucker, the last time I was on the boat with Tucker, I haven't seen lingcod that size since I fished in Alaska.
Really?
And that kind of gives you an idea of the grade of fish that we hooked, and everybody got limits. Limits of lingcod for everybody on the boat.
Oh my God, that is great fishing. Do you prefer fishing with Tucker to almost anybody else?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I could have went out on a different landing, but I waited until Tucker. I'd already paid for one trip. It was just an overnighter. Trip got canceled because of weather. So whenever the opportunity came up, let me know. They let me know. I drove all the way up and had a phenomenal trip.
All right, excellent. And have you done any local fishing up there? You know, the California is there now, and you mentioned that you used to fish on that when it was the Matt Walsh.
Right, but I took my grandson up to fish on Cody's boat.
Island Spirit.
Island Spirit. And he loved it. As a matter of fact, I put him on a boat twice, and he went home with limits. And one trip, he had sheep's head and lingcod when Granddaddy didn't get one.
And you were okay with that,
oh yeah,
right?
definitely. You
Oh,
should have seen the smile on that little kid's face as he's telling his mom and showing her the fish that he caught.
Shoot, I mean, I was going to mention it, but you've already covered it. Local boats, perfect way to introduce kids and family members who've never gone fishing before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'll do it again. Matter of fact, I'm going to take. I have a grandson that's just stepping up to the level where he can come to the rail and fish.
Yeah.
And the grandson that I also took on the previous trips, we're going back.
Excellent. Well, only one thing could make me happier than this interview. And you know what that would be?
What's that, sir?
To go fishing with you on the Endeavor someday. I hope we can do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That would be a pleasure.
Are you kidding?
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.